Cup football is back. Premier League takes on Championship, underdogs versus pride, it's all or nothing, and today we see the game from hospitality. 90 minutes determines your fate, and today will be the real test to see whether each team really does deserve to be in their league. Yes, today is massive as Hull City take on Fulham in the third round of the oldest competition in England, the FA Cup. With the Tigers on the back of 7 games unbeaten, Aaron Connolly finally being unveiled as our new signing, as well as Fulham. Well, I don't have to say a lot about Fulham. They're 7th in the Premier League. Today is by far the hardest game of the season. But, as always, here's all the information you need to know about today's 3 PM Saturday afternoon kickoff. Today, we take a look at our visitors and Premier League side Fulham. Currently sat 7th, Fulham have had an incredible start to the season following 8 wins, 4 draws and 6 losses. This year, Fulham were hoping to stay in the Premier League, but after miraculous results, it seems that Europe is their next aim. Today, Fulham will hope to ease past the Tigers in hopes to try and find themselves a nice little cup run. Now, we move on to the history between the two sides, and I must say it actually is quite surprising. Now, they've played each other on a whopping 98 occasions, with the Tigers winning 36 times, Fulham winning 34 times, and respectively 28 games that ended in a draw. The last competitive fixture ended in a 1-0 win to Fulham, with a goal by Mitrovic meant that the Tigers' rallying effort to get the 3 points were unsuccessful. Today, and for the first time this year, we are finally back at the MKM Stadium, home of the Tigers, so therefore we will not be adding any to our season total mileage, keeping it at 3,137 miles. Well then, that's enough from me at my home. I will see you once we arrive in Hull, and hopefully for a nice little cup run and maybe an underdog story. Come on the Tigers! Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello and welcome from a quite sunny Hull for Fulham versus Hull City in the Emirates FA Cup third round. And I tell you what, I'm excited, I'm nervous and I'm full of emotions. We could go on a cup run or do we focus on the league? And I tell you what, with the lineup, it's going to be a hard battle today. Now today, and for the second time in a row, when my mum's put our name in, we've somehow got hospitality in the Corridon Lounge. And I tell you what, it's good. It's good seating. It's good watching the games on the telly. But the food, I'd rather have my burger. I got little fish cakes and chips, but that's not what you're here for. Listen about my food. But today we are sat on the front row. I could have the option for a padded seat, but obviously I'd rather sit next to my mate Phil, and he can give me some insight. Now we move on to the lineup, and it is as expected, and that was a mouthful, I must admit. It is a second team, and one good thing, there is hope. Xavier Simons and Harvey Vale are starting for Hull City, and that feels so good to say for the first time all season. So maybe there is hope that they won't get recalled, maybe only next month, eh? But as always, here's your lineup to take on Fulham FC. In goal, Matt Ingram. Left back Callum Elder, right back and today's captain Louis Coyle. The 2 centre backs are Sean McLaughlin and Tobias Figueiredo. The 3 in midfield are Greg Doherty, Ozan Tufan and Ryan Woods, and up front Xavier Simons, Harvey Vale and 22 Tyler Smith. So the lineup is the second team. It's what most of us expected. A few players like Ozan Tufan finally getting some game time. He probably does deserve to start in our main lineup. But Tyler Smith, I think he'll do well today. It's one of those games, he does well in the FA Cup. We know what he was like at Everton. He came on and he bossed the game. So hopefully today we get a bit of the same and hopefully get a cup run. Now, I don't usually talk about this, but seeing as though we are playing a Premier League team, I thought I would touch on their lineup. Now, some good news. Aleksandar Mitrovic, the Serbian maestro, is not even in the Matchday squad, and that's so good to hear. Carlos Vinicius is starting. Palhinha, their best player by miles, I would say, is on the bench. But we do have to worry. Harry Wilson, former Tiger, also playing in the starting lineup alongside Thomas Kearney, came through the Hull Academy. Now today is a bit of a mix and match. Last week we were joined by Joe and Lucas, but no Leo. And this time we're not joined by Joe or Lucas, but we are joined by Leo. Now Leo, I'm going to ask you about the food like usual.
Yep.
You had a burger over there.
Yep.
How was it, mate?
Solid. Good sauce, good burger.
Oh, brilliant,
Best in the
mate.
league, like I've always said.
Oh, of course.
Solid.
Best food in Championship.
8.7 out of 10.
Now, it's a tough game against a very good Premier League side.
Yeah.
Probably overachieving in the Premier League 7th at the moment. Are you confident?
Well, I've got 2 scores.
2 scores.
And one's for both teams.
Right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready.
It's going to be 3-1 Fulham or 1-0 Hull.
Right, which one we're going to go for? Choose your, what do you think's more realistic?
3-1 Fulham.
Yeah, I've got to admit, even despite having, Ozan on the pitch and them not having their main players, Harry Wilson
running down the wing.
No, precisely, mate. It's going to be scary. Now, I'm also joined here by Ollie.
Hiya.
Now, You went to the Wigan game, you
Yes.
enjoyed it with
Yes.
brilliant atmosphere. Are you optimistic as you were against Wigan as you are today?
Yes, I am.
So what do you think the score's going to be?
It's going to be 4-0 Fulham or a 2-1 City.
Yeah, right. Very different score lines. Who do you think will score today then?
It's going to be 2-1 City. Sykes Christie's going to get on the score sheet again.
Yeah, fair enough.
and Oscar is too nice to get on the score sheet.
Oh, fair enough, mate. Now I do apologise. Usually I'd cut to the players walking onto the pitch by now. I talk about some random things, but it seems that Leo has forgotten to tell me who's going to score today. So I'm guessing it's going to be the main man.
It's going to stick to 3-1.
3-1 still.
Their
Yeah.
goal scorers is going to be Tom Kearney, Dan James, and Harry Wilson because ex-Hull.
And who's all then?
Who do you think?
Well, for me, I think Tim Latala.
Really?
I do.
I was going to say Matt Ingram.
Ah, fair enough. Right then, there's about 40 minutes till kick-off, so I'm going to enjoy the last 30 minutes of hospitality as I can. It's not always you get them opportunities, so I'm going to take it and spend every minute of it probably drinking a Diet Coke. But I'm looking forward to the game. I think it'll be a good game. I'm optimistic because I think we could do a decent cup run. I mean, it was really close against Everton. I know Everton last year were in all sorts of mess, but it was close and they were still a decent team. So hopefully today we might see an underdog beat the overachievers. Come on off. And here we have it. Hull City take on Fulham in the FA Cup third round. A very good team for both sides, and it's going to be a very nervous fixture, but I'm confident. Go on, City. Atmosphere's electric. Maybe not as many as usual, but hopefully we still get behind the boys. And he was a good player back in his day. And it will be the former Manchester United player Andreas Pereira to kickstart, which hopefully is an action-packed first half. Get our money's worth, eh? Even though we got hospitality, so. Go on, Harvey! Oh, Harvey! Oh, Louis Coyle! I'll tell you what, we're starting on the front foot today. 15 minutes in, and I'll tell you what, we've started on the front foot, and it feels weird to say this, but we've had 3 or 4 real quality chances. Unfortunately, we haven't taken them, and they've all gone wayward. But compared to Fulham, they've had, well, I wouldn't even name one opportunity that they've had at the moment. It feels strange. We're playing our second team and we're really going for it. It's a shame the atmosphere is not as great as it usually is. It feels more of a pre-season game than it does, you know, a competition. But I think we can go and nick this. I really do. I think there's an opportunity there to be taken. 20 minutes in since the game's kicked off, and there's a slight problem. Now, it's not about the game, the performance, but a bit more about the atmosphere and the fans. Now, you'd have thought 20 minutes in that everyone who's bought a ticket would be inside the ground. There seems to be a major ticketing problem. Now, due to the game not being a EFL Championship fixture, we have to use paper tickets instead of using our membership cards because it's all different seat plans. You're not allowed to book your own tickets unless you've reserved a seat, sort of thing. But there's still thousands of fans outside the ground waiting to get in. It's not really on, is it? I mean, you'd have thought they'd sort the ticketing process out before the game, but it seems there's a slight problem. Go on, Louis. Oh, Greg. Oh, Greg. It's a good move, and I'll tell you what, Louis Coyle is having the game of his life. 30 minutes in, it's been quite an enjoyable game. Quite good to watch, to be honest. You can see where both teams are really trying to play from. Fulham are trying to pass it around and try and invite pressure onto them, whereas Hull are doing the complete opposite. They're playing deep, and they're waiting for an opportunity to hit them on the counter-attack. And I think that's something we can, you know, sit back and enjoy today. Because the thing is, we've got some very pacey forwards. We've got Xavier Simons, Harvey Vale and Tyler Smith, who are very, very quick when they need to be. But to be honest, it's just a matter about how we can get the ball. Because I don't think I've seen a whole player touch the ball in about 5 minutes. It's a waiting game today. And hopefully we can wait out the 90 minutes and I can go to Fulham.
Oh, what a goal.
Oh. Oh. It wasn't expected. That's their first opportunity of the game. I'm devastated with that. Well, it's very disappointing to go 1-0 down, I must say. And to be fair, we've played really well. I have to admit, the way we've been passing it round, and we've created a lot of opportunities that we don't usually create, and I think we're playing really, really well. And one good thing is when we did go 1-0 down, is the players kept their head up, they clapped, they knew it was going to be a difficult game, but hopefully this opens the game up now and we create some more opportunities just like that. Louis Coyle's made an incredible run and we're doing really well now. 45th minute and there's been 1 minute of added time, and to be honest with you, it's been a decent half. I know we're 1-0 down and all, but this is a Premier League side, this is 7th, they're in a Europa League spot at the moment, so I have to be proud of the team at the moment, as well as the fact that we're playing our second team. You can't fault any of them. I think there's been a couple of times where Xavier Simons shouldn't have done that skill, but then again, if you don't experiment, it doesn't always, it could work sometimes. Go on, Tyler. Shoot! Oh, he's got it caught under his feet. And that's and that's half time. To be fair, as I said, it's been a decent half. Fair play. I'll see you all in a minute. Half time and it's 1-0 to Fulham. And you look at that and you think, well, we're going to get battered, but we haven't. We've kept ourselves in this, we created 3 or 4 opportunities, and realistically we should be winning at half time. That Harvey Vale chance, first 10 minutes, really should have buried it. I saw it on a replay on the screen, walking back in, and it was an open goal practically. All he had to do was take it around the keeper or just have a shot on target, but he chose to do it with the outside of his boot and it's gone miles wide in a sense. Talking about the team, and obviously with the players we've got on the pitch, we've actually done surprisingly really well. Now one problem is Tyler Smith. Now it's not the factors of his ability, but his height. Him against, Diop and Tosin Adarabioyo, he looks about 3'2", and I do feel bad for him because obviously he hasn't had the experience against a Premier League side at the moment. But we need someone like Ben Tete on the pitch who's like there. He's like 6'5", if I'm being honest with you. Get him on the pitch against some tall defenders, and hopefully we have a chance in the second half. Looking at the substitute bench, and obviously we know we're playing our second team at the moment. So our substitute bench is stacked with all our best players. We've obviously got Oscar Estupinian, Regan Slater, Jacob Greaves, Ben Tete, Cyrus Christie. You look at that team could possibly win this game for us. We really do need to bring on someone like Ben Tete or someone like Oscar who's taller than Tyler Smith, probably better than Tyler Smith, and hopefully then we can create the opportunities and get back into this because it's there for the taking. I don't think Fulham have played that well. Obviously he's trying to invite pressure, but we're not relying into that. We're not trying to get into that. Playing it on the counter-attack, and I think we can really get a result out of this. Now I'm going to keep this half-time bit short and sweet because I went into hospitality for a cheesecake and the players are already back onto the pitch, so I do need to hurry up. But I think this game really is there for the taking. I forgot to mention Aaron Connolly is also on the bench. We get him on. I talked to him before the game. He hopes to bag 1 today. We'll have to wait and see about that. But this game is there for the taking, and hopefully we do get a result here, because even if it's a draw, I'd love to visit Craven Cottage. Apparently it's a really nice stadium, really nice fans and decent atmosphere, so we'll have to wait and see. Right, I'll see you in the second half. Come on the side. And the Tigers are back out onto the pitch, and it will be number 8, the Glaswegian, the magician, Greg Docherty, to kickstart what hopefully is an action-packed second half for Hull City in a sense. I mean, it's there for the taking, as I've said. And there we go. Come on, the boy! He's too quick. He's just way too quick, is Daniel James. It scares me sometimes. Go on, Harvey. He's got the pace, but does he have the ability? Oh, blooming heck. 60th minute. And I tell you what, we got some exciting news. Double substitution for Hull City. And it's the 2 players I wanted the most on the pitch. Number 27, 50 grand Regan Slater has come on the pitch. We know how influential he is and how he is going to change this game, hopefully. And the new boy, number 44, Aaron Connolly, comes on. We don't know much about him. We haven't seen his style of play yet, so hopefully he can influence the game and maybe get a goal or 2. And coming off is Harvey Vale, and I was on 2 fan, which is a shame. It does seem it will be Harvey Vale's last game in the black and amber colours. It never really worked out for him, but he hasn't left yet. So we've still got, Huddersfield and Sheffield United. Maybe he makes an appearance there. And also coming off is Ozan 2 fan. In terms of the performance, and to be fair, it's been quite a boring first 20 minutes of the half. It started off quite lively, I must admit, but the problem is Fulham are that good. You can tell they're a Premier League team. They're well structured and they're passing the ball really, really well, and we just can't get really a foot onto the game. But the problem is that we didn't have that, attacking ability up front at that time. But now we've brought on 2 substitutions. We can really change this game around. Regan Slater's brilliant. Probably the best 50 grand anyone will spend on anything, let's be honest. And then Aaron Connolly, again, is a bit of an experiment. We don't really know what to expect from him. But we're still in this. It's only 1-0 still. and a draw will be absolutely beautiful because I would love to visit Craven Cottage. It's another ground to tick off for me. I didn't go last year. But yeah, one opportunity, we're right back in this, and we maybe even get the win. Whoa, mate, did you see that? Didn't know I was watching a ballerina dance show. Well, there we have it. Get our money's worth. 2 sports in 1. The second double substitution for Hull City. And that's just as I was saying about we lack that, attacking quality. We brought on 2 strikers. We brought on Ben Tete, who returns from his 6 to 8 game injury, which was, I think he just pulled his hamstring, and he's finally back. And our top goal scorer, number 19, Oscar Estubin. So just to clarify, coming off is Tyler Smith and Xavier Simons. Now, I have heard reports that Lee Rossini is impressed by Xavier Simons, so hopefully he does stay. And Tyler Smith, again, is a very good player, but he just can't deal with the heights of Diop and Tosin Adarabioyo. Let's see what our 2 strikers can bring into this game. We've got 4 on the pitch now, so that'll be fun to watch. Oh, good save, Matt Ingram. I think that's about the only shot of the half, if I'm being honest with you. Other than them ballerina tricks by Fulham. So the 5th and final substitution for Hull City. And one I didn't expect to be saying today, out of all the players I didn't think I'd get on the pitch, number 28, Callum Jones, is coming on the pitch, replacing him, number 8, Greg Docherty. Be good to see Callum Jones on the pitch. Hasn't been on since last season, and hopefully can make a difference. I think he's a really promising youngster. See what he has to do. He's just played a beautiful ball. Nice. Go on. Oh, Aaron! No! Oh, he's offside. I'll tell you what, that referee loves that flag. That was a chance. Well, there's 5 minutes to go, and I've been told to keep positive, so we're going to get another chance. And we're going to bury it this time. Go on, the Tiger. 14,100 people here at the MKM today. Fair play to all. It's been a decent atmosphere in certain parts. Hopefully, we can get the fans cheering though this corner. Nearly. 90th minute, and there's been 4 minutes of extra time, and I tell you what, the last 5-10 minutes, it's been fully Hull City. We've been going for it, and Ben Tete, what a player. The fans chanting his name, and it doesn't even seem like he's been injured. I tell you what, it's going to be a very nervy, but hopefully exciting last 3 or 4 minutes. Let's just hope we create one more opportunity, and Aaron Connolly, assisted by Regan Slater, and we'll go home happy. We get to go to Craven Cottage. Come on, City. Go on. Oscar! No! No! I think I was more upset by the fact I zoomed out than in. But even Matt Ingram's come up for the corner. The last throw of the dice. If it goes wrong and Fulham clear it, then we're doomed for. But this goes in. There's going to be limbs. Even maybe in the West Stand. Who knows? Maybe not. Come on, boys. Last throw of the dice. Last throw of the dice. Regan Slater. Oh, it's a corner. Come on. Corner in. I can't see what's happening. Oh, it's corner. Another corner. I think I couldn't tell you. There's a group of footballers in the way. Yeah. Oh, there we go. So that's it. That's the game over. The dream over. I suppose we weren't going to ever win the World Cup, the FA Cup, but the game is officially over. It's just a matter of time till the referee blows the whistle. It's gutting to go out like that, especially with Daniel James coming up through the Hull City Academy. He basically walked it into the net. But I think that's always the risk you take when you bring everybody, including the goalkeeper, up for a corner. I'm lost for words really, because the last 5 minutes I was excited. I thought we were going to take it, but you can't be too disappointed. You always have to stay positive. It's only 2-0 against a Premier League side who have got their best players on the pitch at the moment. Obviously Mitrovic isn't playing, but Polina still. And there we have it. Full time, Hull City 0, Fulham 2. And I'll go into it when I get home, but to be honest, I'm not too disappointed. It was always going to be a tough fixture, and there's a lot of better teams out than Fulham who's in this competition, so it's always going to be hard. And obviously a cut run would have done the team really good, but I suppose it's not meant to be. I'll see you all when I get home. Unlucky City. Let's keep optimistic. We can focus on the league. Well, ladies and gentlemen, not the result us fans wanted, but most of us expected. Hull City 0, Fulham 2, but I tell you what, we can't complain. Fulham are 7th in the Premier League, they've got a Europa League spot, and we battled to the end. We fought till the end, and it was only because, you know, we brought the goalkeeper up, which I suppose that's a risk you take, bringing your goalkeeper up for a corner. We tried, and we can't complain about the result. Although we are knocked out of the FA Cup, we can focus on the league, and that's the most important thing at the moment. And usually I'd say to try and survive, but I'm going to keep this quiet, so don't spread it. We're actually closer to the playoffs than the relegation zone, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. But to be fair, the result today wasn't to reflect. I mean, it didn't look like a 2-0 performance. It looked like it could have been a draw. And if Harvey Vale took that chance, that 3rd-minute chance, that could have been a totally different result today, and we would have walked through. Fans and 14,000 at the MKM Stadium. Now, there was train strikes, so, you know, you can't complain. And with the cost of living crisis at the moment, it's brilliant to see 14,000 people supporting the Tigers. I think there was maybe a couple of hundred Fulham fans, and to be honest, I don't blame you. It's the FA Cup. You know, the atmosphere wasn't going to be electric because it wasn't a game that was needed to be electric atmosphere for to back the players. It was a game that you thought you'd win, and again, it's London to Hull. You know, that's 5 hours trip. It's going to be, well, not 5 hours, it'll be a 10-hour round trip, so I suppose I can see where you're coming from. Now we talk about the next fixtures, and I'll tell you what, the 2 Yorkshire derbies, 2 massive fixtures, and the next one is vital. We play Huddersfield at home at the MKM next Saturday. Now that one is crucial to win, because Huddersfield are one of those teams that are at the bottom of the Championship. They're not really, you know, looking to push for the playoffs, but more to scrap for points to get out of the relegation zone. And that's when we need to take the 3 points off, because the next one is going to be probably the hardest game of the season. That's Sheffield United away. You know, it's got an intense atmosphere, especially with it being a Yorkshire derby. So it's all to play for, and hopefully we take 6 points, but I'd be happy with 4. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. If possible, please like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss a matchday vlog. It's been a pleasure taking you through hospitality for Hull City versus Fulham. We got to watch a Premier League side. Unfortunately, it's not the result we wanted, but who can complain? We got to see some of that, you know, fringe squad players. So, you know what? I can't complain about today. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you next Saturday for the big one, Huddersfield at home. Come on, the Tigers. Let's get some training in, some new transfers in, and some more momentum. Come on!